know it's gonna be good. You know, when you're like starting to eat a really delicious cake and you know the rest of it's gonna be just as good, you're like, I'm savoring this book while I'm reading it. Hello, so I want to do a quick book update. So I have finished reading the Philip Reeves Mortal Engines, the first book. The concept of this book is that people no longer live on the bare earth. They live on these cities, these metal cities that they built, that move around. So if you've seen Howl's Moving Castle, it's something like that. So these cities that have legs and they seem to move around, and the bigger the city, obviously the bigger the machine that they live on, and the smaller the city, the smaller the machine is. And it's sort of a dog world, city world, in that the bigger cities tend to eat the smaller cities, yeah, for survival. And I thought that was a really unique concept. I thought this book was very well written. There wasn't any awkward phrasings or sentences where I thought, oh, that this could have been split up into 2 sentences instead of 1, or if this sentence is a bit too long, or this is a bit too short. That's not how people talk, that sort of thing. You come across a lot in different books, but I thought this was quite well written. I thought the bad guy was very like multifaceted. It wasn't a typical bad guy who was just bad because that was his character. He had a reason for doing the things, doing the bad things. I think some of the things that could be improved is there was quite a lot of focus on a character that I didn't think was really that interesting. I thought there were other characters that could have been focused on a bit more. I didn't feel too much emotional connection with the characters in the Mortal Engine series, perhaps because there were so many of them. It sort of jumped around a lot, but I think once I continue reading the series, that relationship will continue to build. So I will give the Mortal Engines first book 3 bookmarks out of 5. The next book is Kafka on the Shore, and I'm about 1/3 through this book. It is very mysterious. The stories are you don't really know what's happening, in that you can read in it, but there's no many explanations on some of the events, why they're doing certain things. So I think once you obviously read the story, then hopefully it will be explained. But I'm enjoying the mystery and I don't feel too frustrated yet. The thing that I really like about Kafka on the Shore is that a lot of the thoughts and feelings of the characters are unfiltered, in that they're very raw, and those are thoughts and feelings that you would feel, you know. So I really like that. And yeah, just you feel like you've been like sort of picked up and put in Murakami's world, and you're living in his world. So yeah, get ready for the ride. The next book we have here is Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week. I'm about halfway through it now, and it's pretty like life-changing. He gives you a lot of things that you can immediately start to work on, such as the comfort challenges, where he challenges his readers to do things that may put them outside their comfort zone. If you want to be an effective, productive, just a machine of a person, then Mr. Ferris here proposes that you propose more. So instead of saying, oh, what do you want to do, just ask your friend, like, okay, do you want to go out for a meal at Olive Garden this Saturday? What do you think? And then your friend's like, okay. and then that hour's conversation will be condensed to 2 minutes. So yeah, I think if you don't like short small talk and that's sort of building up conversations sort of thing, sort of unnecessary conversation, then I think that will be a pretty good tip. Some of the other conference challenges that I wasn't so comfortable with was it was one where you had to ask the phone number of a person that is on the street, and ask like 5 people their phone number. And he says that if you do it like in a consecutive order, say it'll be much easier rather than one person every hour, because you know, like you'll be thinking about it for like 59 minutes, driving yourself insane. So instead he says like give yourself 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes ask 5 people out, just so there's not that build up time. Like when you're on a roller coaster, you like the expectation is like, oh, killing you. This book is very very easy to understand. There is not any like fancy language, or it's not that like, it's not philosophical. It tells you how it is. It's very frank. That's what I like about it. So for the things that I don't necessarily agree with in this book is that in this book not everything will be relevant to you. I feel that a lot of the tips are directed towards emerging entrepreneurs, and not a lot of the guidance could be applied to everyone, but some of them are very open. And yeah, one particular thing that I picked on that I don't really agree with is proposal on having VAs. So VAs are virtual assistants, and so the client will be in America or England or whatever country, and the virtual assistant will be in a country. It'll be somewhere where a lot of things have been outsourced to lately, so India. And what a virtual assistant can do is they can do market research for you. So you send your virtual assistant like, oh, I'm going to be writing an article on menswear. Research for me all the latest trends for menswear, and then your VA will search it all up and put it into a neat little page for you, and then send it to you, and you write your article. And okay, yeah, that part of it is acceptable, but I don't 100% agree with it. The other tasks that VAs can do is more personal, in that you can ask them to do your shopping. So from all the way in India, they can do online shopping for you, for your groceries, and paying for your children's extracurricular activities, arranging your appointments. And I feel that then this little chapter is called outsourcing your life. So all the tasks that you don't like, all the tedious tasks that you don't like about your life, such as that's annoying in life, such as maybe paying your bills, sending people birthday cards, paying groceries, all the things like that, paying your mortgage, all the things that are those kind of tasks, you can give it to your VA to do. And I don't know, that sort of thing I don't 100% agree with yet. I feel that certain things in life you should do yourself, no matter how much it will be cheaper for somebody else to do it. What is outsourcing your life? It just seems a bit not right. Yeah, a person in a more well-developed country doesn't have to do their tedious tasks, and then which just gets sent off to the other side of the world, where a person on a very low wage gets to do them. Yeah. You get to enjoy the fun bits. I don't know, it seems like an episode out of what do you call that show, Black Mirror. Yeah, it seemed like something. It just highlights that global inequality there, in that a person in a Western country, oh, they can just send off their tedious tasks to a person in a less developed country, and because of their lower wage levels, and taking advantage of that. You know, these things happened for many years now. Like, all these call centers have been outsourced to India, and now the outsourcing thing is becoming even more intense. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm an old fart in that sense. Maybe this is how all the new tech people have their lives, but well,